Hey everybody, Tim from the Wall Racing channel here, back with another video for y'all. Hope you all enjoyed the show there with the Color Tour Slam demolition derby that we had. And I got a little aftermath video that we're going to put together for you here today on the Capt Crunch Caprice that we ran there in the old stock class. So taking a look around at this guy, we'll start at the front and work our way back. So did a little bit of damage to the front here with the bumper, got it kind of bent around on both sides, so it's all matching up now. One thing that was interesting, man, this must not have been welded on as good as I was thinking. I ended up busting off the little plate here that we had holding both control arms down on the front. Did take some shots to the wheels, so likely just the sheer force of, you know, something hitting it that direction ended up doing that sort of damage, popping that free. I don't think it really hurt anything suspension-wise under there, but we did end up doing some frame damage in here, if you can see that. This section right here used to sit a little further forward, so that bend's a little bit more harsh than it was before. I'd say that's really the worst of it that we got from this round, and I think that'd be fixable. I'd probably want to take it off the trailer, do kind of that chain and pull method, like what you saw in one of our past videos there for fixing the front. And you can see that it is at a little bit of an upward angle here as well on the front frame, so I'd ideally like to pull that back down straight using the old trailer method here and plate it down if we do have the availability to. We'll have to check the rules, get in touch with our promoter, what you're allowed to do for that. So what exactly took this car out? Well, made the last big hit there in the Derby, and unfortunately one of the other guys is still running and could kind of move at the end, so ended up having to settle for second place in that one. But if you go to turn it over here, you can hear that the old starter motor's spinning, but it's not engaging. So unfortunately, looking down in there, she gave up at just an opportune time for us, and I think it's probably the solenoid itself, whatever the little flipper thing is that actually kicks the little gear inside the starter there to attach to the flex plate and actually turn it over. That must have failed in the Derby itself. And luckily in the back here, didn't really do too much damage. You can probably see it with the old camera here, tuck her inside there, but didn't do any new damage to the rear humps themselves, so luckily that worked out a-okay. When I was fixing the car before, I did do some work here to add a couple extra notches in the back and cut all this bracing too. If you guys are running metric GMs, make sure that all this trunk bracing under here, this is part of what makes that rear end go down in a collision from the factory. So if you actually cut those, that'll help these go up in the correct direction. And as you can see, it worked out pretty well this time around. That thing's packed in exactly like I wanted it. Once I got everything jacked back up, welded on the fix-it plates that we were allowed, ended up just kind of draping the trunk lid over it and then wiring it down and V'd it in, kind of the old school method, and that worked out a-okay for this round. Just as a general rule of thumb, for these cars with weak rear frames, so say like an 80s GM, Crown Vics are usually a little bit more consistent. I haven't ran one yet, but I feel like they're probably a little bit easier to set up than these. Or say like an old iron Cadillac. I've had one of those before that like to dump the humps. It's really important to try and cut out some of this like inner structure on the inside. Those are some of the things that make that body stronger than the frame itself and kind of hold it down from bending up like you'd want ideally in a Derby situation. So you can take that knowledge and do what you want with it. We've been running these GMs for years, so have a little bit more experience with them. So coming up here to the front corner, maybe some extra body damage here with the front nosing up. Obviously the hood's a little bit more bent. Engine's leaning back a little bit more. Let me take you inside here. So one thing I'm a little concerned about, the old distributor back in there. I don't know if you can see it from your angle. How about we go up top here? The old distributor is getting a little close to the firewall on there. I cut out a nice size hole for it, but clearly when the frame pushed straight back before they tip up, it's pretty close to the top of that firewall. So before the next time I run this thing, I would definitely go in there and end up cutting that hole a little bit bigger for the next time around. I think that'll give it plenty of room to slide back. You won't destroy the distributor in the process, and keep it running all the way down to the end. And frame bend about in the same spot on this side, just push back, but this side hasn't tipped up quite as much, so I figure that'll be a little bit easier fix. Just put a plate on there if we're allowed, and then weld her up, keep it all straightened out, and see what we can do in another run there. But that's pretty much it for this ride. It ended up holding up a lot better than I thought it would, but I guess when there are a few cars, you're not necessarily going to destroy the entire thing in one run, in theory. So ended up making some good hits, putting on a show. Didn't sandbag as much as I thought I was going to, but that's more likely due to the lower turnout in this one. But feel free to share any comments below if you have any tips and tricks that work well for you with your demo cars, whether it be the rear frames or how you think we should fix this for pulling that front frame down for a third run. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want to check out any future Derby videos with us. This might be the last one for the 2023 season with wall racing, but make sure to stay tuned. I'm sure to do a few more of those how-to videos in the off-season. Different things like working on engines, fixing this one, and maybe even the other crash cab bump and run car will have some new stuff. See you later.